Welcome to a quick review and app overview of the CellMate, filmed on my mobile device, so that is a new experience for me. Anyway, this is the CellMate. It is a chastity cage. This is effectively what it looks like when it's off of a body. So what the app actually controls is this little bar here. It pushes it in, which will then lock in this metal piece, which makes it impossible to remove the metal piece until this thing is pulled out again. And then they come apart, and you're able to slide this off of the penis and then remove this off of the body. So quickly, basically this is just a button, though it looks like a cool camera actually, doesn't it? But it is actually just a button on the front of the cage. It has the holes here that allow for bathroom usage, and then right here is actually where the battery sits, and this is completely replaceable. It'll last about 8 to 12 months, so this is not a rechargeable. Instead, you replace the battery. So let's look at the app. Here we have the app, and you can see that we have the device here up at the top. We have the community we'll go over later, friends, and then my profile. So here is the device, and all you have to do is click in. You see that it wants to connect. To connect, I have to hit that button on the front of the device. The button will blow up as blue, and there you go. Now it's available to control, and you can lock and unlock it as you please. I don't know if you can hear the little whirring noise. But that just basically locks and unlocks the CellMate. Or, as you can see, sometimes it actually does not do any of that. And we just kind of wait for it to do a thing. And that is unfortunately one of the downsides of technology, is it does not always work exactly how you would like it to work. So we will go ahead and give that a try again. Press the button on the device, get the pretty blue light, and then you get the open or close level. And you can hear that that time it worked. As you can see, it actually makes a note of wherever you lock or unlock the device from every time you do it. And this is basically where you control the entire of the CellMate itself. So if you have different devices, you can control them back on this mode. You can see we can have like 30 of them on here if we wanted. But this particular page is what controls this particular device. You can see we have a note where the keymaster is listed, and you can see we have a note where the wearer will be listed if I had given the cage to another person and we were using long distance. You can also see we have the battery level here. So if you want to access a lot of the other modes that the CellMate offers, you go into the setting, and then you get a whole bunch of options. Like, wow, a whole bunch of options. And going through this, you can rename the device. It has a name. That's what CellMate uses to identify the device as this device instead of somebody else's device. You can set a timer. We'll poke at that. Essentially, the timer lets you decide how long you would like to be locked up. You can choose months, days, hours, minutes. You just put in your time, and then you hit the check mark in the corner. It will ask you if you're sure, and then if you're sure, you hit yes, and you have another chance to say that you're definitely not sure. So you do get a double confirmation system there. You can see I'm listed as the keymaster. I could list a wearer. I have zero idea what the regulator does. I'm clicking on it. This is the page I get. I don't know what that is. So that exists. There is the function for publicity device. That is a toggle on and off. That will make your device public. It does not actually explain what that means. This is all you get. I don't know what that means. So we have not turned that on. You can launch a referendum, which appears to be a voting function. So there are risks in launching this referendum, so you're supposed to post carefully. Sure. You basically can decide who participates. That includes the gender of male, female, female to male, male to female, and sissy, which is not a gender, but okay, whatever. And you can also choose what kind of users can do it, which includes Dom, Sub, SM, and Switch. Again, not really sure what those mean. And you can choose the age range of people you would like to participate if you're like really into only 22 to 30-year-olds getting to vote. You can also choose what, yeah, obviously you can see that. You can choose every time how long it's going to lock it up. So if you allow for one vote to mean 1 minute, one vote to mean an hour, or one vote to mean a day, I would 100% just never use the hour and the day, because who knows how popular this is going to be. You could just end up locked up for the rest of your life, I guess. And you can choose the voting duration. So basically, how long is this voting going to be actually live? And we'll talk about where that goes in a second here. But the last two we have here are the looking for keymaster by conditions and by robbing. I have zero idea what it means to find a keymaster by robbing them. It sounds kind of terrifying. So it basically looks like the other screen. Yeah, I know, it's difficult. We're going to die. So it basically looks like the other screen. You can choose the participation conditions by those same selection criteria that we used before. And you can choose a permission duration. I'm not really sure what that means. If this was the choose key holder, like this is the choose key holder settings. This is the choose key holder settings by robbing. And these are your options, which I don't entirely know what they mean. You can set how long after you start snatching, including multiple months if you're into that. I don't know what that means. Again, the Chinese to English translation on this is not great. But the looking for keymaster by conditions settings looks pretty much exactly the same. It's a little more straightforward. It basically says how long are you going to grant them permission, and I don't know what end time means. I would guess that means how long your help wanted ad will stay up, but I don't entirely know. You can transfer the authority of the device to a different user on your friends list, and you can disconnect the CellMate from this device. That is not permanent. You can reconnect the CellMate if you need to. So that is basically all of the controls to the CellMate itself. And then we come back out. This is your home screen again, and you have control of the toys, which is where we're at, and we will click into community, which, by the way, this giant plus, that's how you add it. Really super easy to add one. So this is the community. Essentially, the manufacturer has made like their own little basic social media network to use, and anything that you post or anything somebody else posts will show up here on this community log. It looks kind of like a Twitter or social media thing. So as you can see, this user here wants you to vote for them to be locked up. It ends in 2 hours, and I think every 7 votes equals an hour. I don't entirely know there, but it's been viewed 26 times, and it has 4 thumbs up, and there's a comment, and we could forward it to someone if we really wanted. And you can just see you just do that entirely. As far as I'm aware, there is no way to make this English only. So you're going to get a lot of different languages on this page, and very few people post like words. A lot of them are just using the CellMate functions and posting it to the social media network, so you just see a lot of those. So it definitely has potential. Just depends on what you want to use it for. Here we would have a friends list. You can add friends, you can chat to friends. As you see, I don't have any friends on it at the moment, but you 100% can add friends. And then the me one is just all of your edits of your private data, privacy settings, all that. So that is pretty much the entirety of the app that works with the CellMate device. It could definitely use some work, especially on the Chinese to English translation. And aside from that, just reading the rest of the written review will give you a better idea about the other functions of the device. But this is the overview of the app. Thanks for watching.